Good afternoon, everyone. David Dubine here. Thanks for spending your valuable time with the Adapt 2030 channel. 3 inflationary waves of the 1970s. Reverse that, and that's how the markets are going to decline in the 3 waves. Home payments in the 1950s, a whole house for $7,400. Surge in mortgage payments, $2,500 average. Bank of England going live with their bail-in operational guides. Bail-ins are the new bailouts for the reckless financiers. They just changed the name of the company and its location. This is more of a to-do list than things you could do 125 years ago. And what inflation really looks like over the last 2 years, and where do you think we're going in 2023? More electrified skies. This is real time. Storm-damaged crops, many parts of our world. This is in France. How do you think the wheat fields fared after that? 6 uses for hydrogen peroxide in your garden. Most snacks use unhealthy artificial ingredients that may cause weight gain and are bad for your body. That's why you need to try Toodaloo adaptogenic trail mix, mouth-watering, and my #1 favorite snack. I'm not the only one who loves it. Toodaloo was rated the #1 best and healthiest nut snack in America by Eat This, Not That Food Awards. And each of Toodaloo's 4 flavors has 30 adaptogenic herbs, and it's great for prepping. It has a 12-month shelf life, so if you're thinking about putting some storable foods aside, puppy cameo. And for the next 24 hours, you can try Toodaloo, America's most delicious trail mix, at up to 20% off by visiting Go Nuts With Me. You don't get the puppy included, that's my puppy, but you can get one of the 4 flavors here, all 4. GoNutsWithMe.com. That link's in the description box below. And now on with the video. And we keep hearing a lot about inflation. So what happened to our prices over the last couple of years? Beginning of 2020, that was right at the COVID era. Things declined, a lot of non-usage, people staying at home, businesses closing. People weren't really going out and buying. So you can see a lot of things, especially oil in the center there, declining, non-usage, got cheaper. And then suddenly we get into 2021 and food starts to run away. Corn price is up, but corn's in everything. So you can start to see now where we're going to be moving forward in through 2023. At the end of the year, these prices are going to jump at least another 50, if not 100% of what you see at the end here, coming into the high prices for gas at 233%, oil 77%, cotton, corn, wheat, it's all up. It's going to double again. Welcome to hyperinflation. I like to study the past to see what could happen in the future, and it does seem like we are mimicking something just like 3 inflationary waves of the 1970s or the Great Crash that ushered in the Great Depression. So if you can look at this chart and also in inverse, you can see that the higher the inflation rate goes, the more demand destruction there will be. There's some pullbacks, but ultimately we're going to see a triple crested wave here. Now this is going to be the inflation prices, and everything I have seen has been at least 20%, not 14, eclipsing this by incredible amounts, well into the 20s. Never seen before. We're going to witness history being made here. But if you can just bend your mind a little bit, the inverse will be the collapse in the stock markets. Crypto as well, general spending, and we'll get to that ultimate bottom as the interest rates go to their ultimate top. So how long do you think it'll be for this to play out from start to finish? Everything seems to be moving exponentially faster, so I don't think it's going to be over a 12 or 15 year period. Seems like a reset's in play here, so things would tend to happen faster if you're going to switch systems, because the old system needs to collapse completely before you can usher in a new system. Now keep that in the back of your mind as possible choice C in this whole scheme of things. And what we're seeing is just the beginning of the rises reflected in mortgage payments for home buyers. If you would have snapped up some land or a home just around the end of 2021, Could have gotten your monthly payment in for around $1,400, but now that same house in the same exact place is going to cost you $2,500 a month. That's inflation. And even more startling is these are home prices from the 1950s. Look at that monthly payment on the bottom there, $49.74 with a screen porch, with 3 bedrooms. And the entire price of the house, $7,900. The entire price of a house today, $350,000. That's more inflation. All right, you see it moving forward. It's going to go big on this one. This next round is going to take us into Weimar style here. And when things get unaffordable or not available, people are going to find means to overcome their own obstacles or supply chain bottlenecks. 1930s, a lot of farmers were making their own alcohol so they could pour directly into their vehicles. No tax. Suddenly, prohibition. Pay tax, go to a pump. Reset of the system. It's happened before, it's happening again right now. Then thinking about the alcohols. Purification of water. Disinfectant of surfaces. Wound healing. Tradables. Tinctures. I mean, there's an enormous amount of things you can do with the alcohol if you create it yourself, if you know anything about distilling. And then at the end use, which you saw they did in the 1930s, I would never replicate that here in this day and age. And then other benefits, using the same substance, hydrogen peroxide, soil aeration, fighting root rot if your plants are really in soggy soil, disinfecting again, seed treatment, get any fungals off there before you plant. Pest control and fungal control. Many uses, same product, just like the alcohol that you could distill. And the reason I talk about these things is the storms and the electrification of our skies and this weakening magnetic field happening on our planet. We're starting to see electrical storms like this. This is real time. This is not a sped up video. As you can see the panning across the building, it's just a strobe effect happening with the discharge. It's something to behold. You imagine being in there, how electrified the area around you would be. The air is electric. That lightning's leaving a charge in the air. Could it be harvested? Wireless power? Speaking of harvest, this is the type of hailstorm destroying crops in France. So ask yourself, how do you think a field of wheat with a 100-mile wide front of this for 3 hours would fare after? But then we have the fertilizer shortage, herbicide shortage, supply chain breakdowns. That's in addition to what Mother Nature's throwing at us there. Declining yields across the planet. So it does seem to be that we're in a bit of a reset in many ways, shapes, and forms, cycles upon cycles overlapping at this moment. Is somebody riding on top of the natural cycle knowing that this reset would occur naturally? Because you really just changed the name of a company, its location. And going back that many years from the beginning of the company, how many cycles would have been known and seen through history? Because as it's been stated, to achieve the goals of bringing in digital currency, central bank digital currency, the collapse is engineered to create crisis conditions so frightening that they expect the majority of the public to submit to a collectivist hive mind lifestyle that would be accomplished through UBI digital currency models, and that is central bank digital currency models, carbon taxation, known as carbon allocation credits, and the rationing of all commodities. So when you see the Bank of England putting operational their guide for executing bank bail-ins, and understanding that the bail-in is a legal way to use funds in the bank deposited by you and I, the just average person putting money in the bank, as a bailout so those banks don't fail. Taking risky financial decisions doesn't matter. They'll just pull your money first to bail themselves out. That law was changed after 2008. As a new financial system emerges, immediately you're going to be giving digital cash, central bank digital currency. You'll be giving it in a digital wallet, a digital rationing card, And they will assure that you only spend it on essentials or goods which an employer or government deem to be sensible, which will be food. And you'll be able to only buy certain items with this in the supermarkets after that point. Certain items for your lifestyle. Certain number of clothes per year. Because you can look at this in two different ways here. 125 years ago, you didn't have to ask permission to do all of these activities. And we have to get away from centralized delivery systems. This is more a to-do list. Because centralized delivery of things to facilitate this list in your life are going to be cut. So are you ready to collect rainwater? Do you know how to go fishing? Do you know how to clean the fish? Building a home, adding on to your home, building a greenhouse, learning how to hunt and trap, cutting hair, selling your products. There's going to be trade, bartering, and selling food. You didn't need a permit to do that. It's going to be a time to know your local farmer again and anybody you can that has access to food that produces in more of a commercial level or semi-commercial level. You can get your neighborhoods and your neighbors around to start producing in mass as well, but then you'll need to protect that. As you can see, these things are lining up. The progression is now so stark and in your face. You cannot not see it anymore. The centralized delivery is going to be the thing that will be pulled out. The rug will be pulled out from that, and everything else will cascade because very few people have really gotten ready to do the long haul, to be more self-sufficient for a full year or two. A lot of people aren't ready for that, or it's not even on the radar of getting ready for that. So a lot of people will be caught off guard, and they absolutely will jump at the chance to get central bank digital currency because it means they can eat, they can feed their kids, they can have a place to stay. So the amount of people that will jump at it after a collapse of this magnitude will be beyond your wildest predictions. They could get an instant turnover of 90% of the population. And then what? Then you're locked into what you can buy, what is deemed appropriate for purchase. I wonder if that'll include seeds so you could grow your own food, tools so you could grow your own food, a water filter so you can filter your water en masse. What will be deemed essential? And you look around your world today, a lawnmower, hand scythe, you're going to go out there and clip the weeds yourself every week, feed those to your goats. What are you going to do? And I'll talk more about these issues on Revolution Radio tonight, Thursday, 10 p.m. to midnight. Revolution Radio Studio A, freedomslips.com, and I'll be joined by Ransom Godwin, Eastern Standard Time. And also join me on Telegram, where I put links and interesting stories that I don't put here on YouTube, and be part of the community. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of the video, and I will see you next time.